Good morning. It's Wednesday morning, and true to form for me in this Vlogtober, I did not vlog in this last couple of days, so I don't really have a video for you today, but I wanted to pop on anyway for a few minutes so I'd have something to put out there. It's sunny, it's nice outside. I'm enjoying seeing out here. I have a lot of work to do. I've been kind of behind on my work all week because I've been feeling so crummy, hence no video today either. I mean, this is the video that's going up today, so I guess there is a video today, but who knows, man. So I thought I would take a couple seconds, a couple minutes, whatever, and talk about changing my system. I have been kind of adrift for most of this year. I think a lot of us have been because of COVID and sheltering in place and just all the weirdness and malarkey that 2020 has brought upon us, right? Add on to that, setting my Erin Condren stuff to the side. For those of you who don't know or wonder why I'm not using Erin Condren stuff anymore, the short answer is a really janky as fuck misstep when it came to Black Lives Matter, on top of some other things that had happened in the past. Pretty clueless and white privilege kind of situation, right? I'm not going to go into it. You can Google it. The company is trying to take steps towards being more inclusive and things like that, but I'm just like, you know what? No, man. The planner system I had used for a long time, I no longer was using, but I also wasn't really feeling like using a planner in the first place because it kind of felt useless. And so I tried a bunch of planners, and I kind of settled on the Budget Mom planner to kind of carry through the year. But concurrently with all of that, my health has exponentially been spiraling downwards. For those of you who don't know, I have polycystic kidney disease, and I'm kind of bouncing back and forth between stage 4 and stage 5. My function will dip a little, then come up a little, then dip a little, then come up a little. Stage 5 is kidney failure. I am not on dialysis yet. I have a fistula that is still growing and is healthy, but we're putting it off as long as possible. But at this stage of kidney disease, every little bit you lose, every little bit that sucks so much harder because there's so little to lose in the first place, and my kidneys are so large that they are causing me a lot of problems physically, a lot of pain, a lot of loss of mobility. I can still get around, but turning, bending, all those things are really bad news for me right now. And my swelling and gout has been popping off and on more often, and that makes it hard for me to walk. Plus, my leg cramps are getting really bad, and again, makes it harder for me to walk. So getting around is becoming very difficult. And as I have gotten sicker, as I have required more and more recovery and rest time, it occurred to me that the system I have been using as a planner is not really working for me anymore. And what do you mean by that? I mean that I used to take a weekly planner, and I work for myself, so I have to assign myself a lot of work. And I would plan my whole week out and kind of decide what was going to get done when. The problem is that now that I'm getting sicker and sicker, those best laid plans, which were always kind of fluid, are now extremely fluid, extremely changeable. And the weekly layout type situation is just not working for me. I'm also craving simplicity. So I've been watching a lot of videos, bullet journal videos, which I kind of avoided for a long time because they didn't make me feel very good. But I'm watching a lot of them, especially about the Alistair method, which I'll leave a link to. The original blog post on bulletjournal.com, which was a future planning method, but the ones I have watched from Plant-Based Bride, I watched an old Bohoberry video. There's been other ones I've watched. I'll link everything I can find that I've been watching to kind of think about this. I've talked about adapting it for a weekly use. And that seems so much more helpful. The idea of a weekly task list that is a lot more flexible and only planning out for your week the things that are actually time sensitive. It saves you from having to rewrite the same tasks over and over again. It saves you from using lots of rescheduled stickers. And it just seems really helpful. So I'm actually using it this week. I did a fuckery plan with me this Sunday and basically made my weekly spread unusable. And so I tried out a Alistair method, basic one, in my planner this week and my bullet journal. And I already think I'm going to do another one for next week. And so that'll be the live plan with me on Sundays, setting that up. Because I want to try. I've already learned that I need more space than I was giving myself. So I need to adapt it with more space. So you can stay tuned for that on Sunday. But what this is all kind of coming to a head is, so next month in November, I'm not going to use a weekly planner. I'm just going to use a bullet journal all month to see how that feels. Because what might end up happening is that in 2021, it'll just be a bullet journal and whatever goal planner I decide to go with. And something for memory keeping, which is probably going to be the Hobonichi weeks. Very, very simple. Now, why did I make this little video for you? For two reasons. One, as you change, and you will change, nobody stays stagnant. Throughout our lives, we change. As you change, your systems and the way you do things should change with you. When people talk about quote-unquote planner peace, it's really naive to think that a planner system that is perfect for you right now is going to be perfect for you forever, because your needs change, your wants change, your likes change, all those things change, your life changes. But then to also say that if you are somebody who is getting progressively sicker and sicker, progressively in more pain, progressively with more mental illness, depression, whatever, something that is making your life harder, and it is getting progressively worse, and you know it is going to get progressively worse, I think it is important to remember that no matter what your life looks like, no matter how shitty you feel, the systems that you use to hold yourself accountable and to make sure you can adult should not make you feel bad. They shouldn't make you feel guilted about your life, because shaming yourself might work in a short-term sense for a short-term project. Overall, shame is never going to be the solution to get shit done in a long-term sense, at least not for me. And so having a planner system that makes me feel shame or makes me feel guilt or makes me feel like I just want to hide it because if I look at it, it's just going to make me feel bad about all the things I didn't get done, that is not helpful. And if you are feeling that, maybe you should examine why you're feeling that way, because it might not be because you suck ass. It might be because the reasons for you being behind on things are out of your control, or they're bigger and you just haven't come to terms with that. I have problems to this day. I have been my illness has been much more present in my life for the last few years than it had been for like the decade before that. When I worked at Trader Joe's and I was good at like throwing 60-pound cases of stuff around like it was nobody's business. And there are still times, a lot of the time, when I cannot reconcile the way I used to be with the way I am now. That difference between my body as it currently is versus this idea of my body that I have in my mind. And I feel like you can apply the same mode of thinking to your planner, journal, whatever system. It seems like getting really in the weeds, but ultimately for those of us who need to write things down to get things done, that method of writing things down is an integral part of being an adult. And if it's not working for you, then a major part of getting your adult shit done is catching you up instead of helping you. And so I invite you to think about that if you've been struggling with it, because that's something I'm thinking about right now. And I'm taking you along for the ride like I always do. And I just want to talk about it this morning because I'm already halfway into the week and already seeing ways that this needs to be a little bit tweaked to work for me, but it already feels more refreshing than adapting the way I've been planning to just a different planner. It's changing how I'm planning, not just where I'm planning. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Any experiences you've had that maybe mirror this, or like when you've like come to this conclusion that you have to like make an overhaul on how you're doing things because of whatever, you know, that was super generic. But I'd love your thoughts in the comments below. Like I said, I will be doing a bullet journal plan with me on Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Pacific time. Or just make sure to subscribe because I'm putting videos out almost every day this month. I've missed one already. Obviously, I'm a hot mess, you guys. Anyway, subscribe, vote, all the things. Until next time, dudes. Peace.